Are you having ongoing digestive issues and wondering if there's specific things you can do to improve your gut health? My name is Dr. Terranella, and in this video, we're going to look at an overall strategy and 5 specific tactics to improve gut health. Again, my name is Dr. Terranella, and if you're new to this channel, I just want you to know that I'm making these videos to help you go beyond the basics of your health, whether it's a confusing lab test, symptom, or just trying to optimize your gut health like this video. I make these videos to help you get a better understanding of what's going on with your health. So if you like this kind of information on nutrition, hormones, and overall optimization of your health, click on the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this one. Now, for a quick disclaimer, the information contained in this video is for informational purposes only. It's not intended as treatment for any medical condition or a substitute for seeing an actual doctor or medical professional. It should be used as an educational guide to deepen your understanding of your own health and treatment success. If medical attention is needed, don't delay in seeking that attention. All right, let's look at 5 ways to improve gut health. So here we're going to look at 5 simple ways to improve gut health. The key with these tips or strategies in improving gut health are consistency. We have to remember that your gut and your microbiome in general is a very delicate ecosystem, and it's responding to what you do every single day. Changing something for 1 week is likely not going to do too much at all or have a very big impact. The idea with this, you're trying to give your good or beneficial microbes a competitive advantage over the pathogenic or problematic microbes, so that over time, this competitive advantage will allow your good microbes to thrive and the pathogenic microbes to kind of stay the same, or at least not outpace the good microbes. But it does take time. It does take deliberate, consistent effort. But that's the principle behind all 5 of these ways to improve gut health. All right, so let's look at the first way to improve gut health. So these are in no specific order, by the way. They're all important. The first one is fermented foods. So incorporating fermented foods into your diet, whether it's a probiotic or actual food, has been pretty well documented. Many studies have found that these foods are associated with increased number of beneficial bacteria, diversity, and reduced pathogenic microbes in the gut. The idea is that the healthy, good microbes that are in that food are kind of crowding out or pushing out the pathogenic microbes, so they have less space for the pathogenic ones to thrive and expand when you have more of these good bacteria present. Examples of this include things like yogurt or kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, tempeh, and miso. These types of foods can definitely help restore and improve your microbiome, but sometimes more aggressive methods are needed to reset. It really depends on what's been going on. Like if you have been through many rounds of antibiotics, something like this is a good idea to do and a good first start, but you may need more than just this. So it really depends how severe the problem is. But again, the improvement isn't going to happen from eating these foods after 1 week or even 2 weeks. It'll take several months to start to see these changes microscopically. But in terms of how you're feeling, it may take even longer than that. How much you consume is also important. If you're having 1 little teaspoon a day, that's probably going to take a much longer time to really see any impact. If you're having a 1/4 cup or half a cup twice a day, you're going to have a bigger impact from something like that. It's important to kind of ramp up slowly if you are going to use these products, but that's some general ideas to think about. And of course, the subsequent recommendations are also important. If you just do this one and don't follow the rest, you're going to get less of a benefit as well. So let's move on and look at the second tip on how to improve gut health. You want to increase the amount and diversity of fiber sources. Fiber is crucially important for maintaining gut health because it adds bulk to the stool. It also pulls out toxins from bile acids, but it supports the healthy microbes that are present there because they eat the fiber. That fiber then creates food for the digestive cells that are in the digestive tract, and it also helps support the mucus layer between the cells of the digestive tract and the microbes. So fiber does a lot of things. So the types of fiber that you eat, because it's feeding those microbes, can change the composition of your gut microbiome. The more diversity of fiber you're eating, the more diversity of microbes you're going to have. And that gives those microbes also a competitive advantage over those unhealthy microbes. Because again, you're feeding them, allowing them to thrive versus not having the fiber, they're going to struggle a little bit more. Of course, healthy fiber-rich foods are going to be things like fruits, vegetables, legumes, etc. The third tip on improving gut health is to limit processed foods. So we all know that these types of foods are not healthy for us for various reasons, but really depends how much of these you're eating and also the state of your gut health. You may need to take a long hiatus from these types of foods in order to build up your gut health or your microbiome for a period of time. These are things like sugary, refined, simple carbohydrates, refined grains like bread, pasta, rice, things with very low fiber content in them. Think of like pure sugar, actual candy, high fructose corn syrup. These are going to negatively impact your gut health because they allow those bad or potentially pathogenic microbes, allowing them to expand. In addition, things with higher saturated fats and high fats also can damage the ecosystem or balance in our guts. High fat, high sugary diets have been shown to increase the abundance of proteobacter and decrease the abundance of bacteroides. The proteobacter type of bacteria is typically a pretty low or minor part of our health microbiome. If it increases disproportionate to the other good bacteria, then bad things tend to happen, like inflammation. This type of proteobacteria tend to carry with it something called LPS or lipopolysaccharide. And that molecule is very pro-inflammatory, causes all sorts of immunological and local inflammatory effects. So those higher sugar, higher fat diets tend to create more microbes that are going to produce that LPS and create more problems locally and for some people even systemically, but it really depends how bad the issue. Now, with all that being said, there's a lot of stuff that's not fully understood about our microbiome and what is most important and least important. So I have a link to an article that you can check out that goes into some of this a little bit more. It'll be in the description. The fourth tip I have for improving gut health is to limit antibiotic use. So most of us know by now that antibiotics are going to damage our microbiome and we should try and limit them for various reasons. Of course, antibiotics are essential for treating bacterial infections, but they can also damage the balance in our delicate ecosystem that we're trying to help improve. That microbiome is home to a vast and diverse community of microbes, including bacteria, archaea, viruses, fungi, and other microorganisms that are supposed to be there. Most of them are in the colon, but there are still some that are in the small intestine and stomach. And the most abundant of these, or at least the most well-studied, are the bacteria. So the Human Microbiome Project studied at the National Institutes of Health aimed at cataloging all of the different microbial species present in the microbiome of a human body. And studies are still ongoing with some of this, but they discovered that there's thousands of species and remarkable diversity between one person to the next of these different microorganisms. As I said, there's lots of diversity from one person to the next, and part of the variable that's affecting the diversity is things like your diet, like mentioned above, your lifestyle, your genetics, and your upbringing in terms of these things as well, like what the quality of foods that you ate when the microbiome was initially developing, how much antibiotics you took. One of the biggest variables is your use and frequency of antibiotics. Taking more antibiotics leads to reduced diversity and increased potential for harmful microbes like Clostridium bacteria. So the fifth way to improve gut health is fasting. Fasting and intermittent fasting reduces digestive symptoms because it gives the digestive tract and your microbiome a chance to rest and recover from all of the changes in pH that happen when your food is being digested, and also the mechanical changes that are happening during the digestive process also get a break. So this allows the microbiome to kind of recover from those periods. Now, remember, most of our microbiome is in the colon, in the large intestine, where there's not a lot of digestive capacity going on there, but there is in the small intestine and in the stomach. And there's a lot of pH changes that occur in the stomach and small intestine. And when those contents empty into the large intestine, there's also some pH changes there. Not as much as from the stomach to small intestine, but still, there is some things going on there. And that disruption can disrupt the microbiome. Also, when the food first enters in there, there's going to be more peristalsis going on, which can also disrupt the microbiome that's present. When we're fasting, it also gives our migrating motor complex, which is a mechanical process that rhythmically spreads through the small intestine and large intestine, sweeping out any leftover food particles in those areas. The process of clearing those things out also reduces the ability of pathogenic microbes or microbes that we don't want present there to proliferate and thrive. So especially when it comes to the small intestine, there really shouldn't be a lot of microbes there. And so enhancing that migrating motor complex through fasting can allow for the removal of that debris and leftover food particles. So again, most people do find that fasting in some capacity is going to improve those digestive symptoms, whether it's gas, bloating, or changes in actual bowel habits. How long do you actually need to fast? Well, delaying your food intake in any manner is going to help with this process, but the more you do, the more benefits you're going to get. Now, obviously, there's limitations to that, but a few hours to even 24 hours can have a major impact in your overall digestion. And the longer you do it, the more benefits you're going to be able to notice. Of course, it does matter on those symptoms that you're having. If you're not having a lot of digestive symptoms, it may not make sense to actually do this specific tactic, but fasting can be a good way to at least reduce the symptoms. So in summary here, we're trying to enhance your good microbiome and gut health while minimizing the impact of the pathogenic or problem microbes in your digestive tract. And the 5 tactics that we're going to use to do that are: number 1, increase fermented foods. Number 2, increase dietary fiber and varieties of fiber. Number 3, reduce sugary and fatty foods. And number 4, minimize or reduce antibiotic use. And then the last one is fasting. All these things in combination over time should help you improve your gut health. Now, some people do need much stronger interventions and more targeted interventions to get them over the hump to where they're actually feeling somewhat normal. These strategies are going to help anyone, but they're not going to fix every problem that people have. So it's important to talk to your doctor if you're having major issues, so that you can get a specific targeted treatment to get you into a place where these things are going to get your digestive tract into that optimal space. So how'd I do? Did that give you a better understanding on how to improve gut health? Hopefully it does. If you do like this kind of information and want to see more information like this, leave me a comment in the comment section. And of course, if you do have questions, drop those questions in the comment section as well. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.